Do you often feel like the world is against you, that you're constantly playing defense, struggling to keep up? The sensation that you're perpetually on the receiving end, that the universe has an axe to grind with you, is a feeling all too familiar to those harboring a victim mentality. It's a mindset that's not only pervasive but also self-destructive, and it can stealthily take hold of your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your life. Now, you may wonder what we mean by a victim mentality. It's an attitude, a lens through which one views the world, where one perceives themselves as a victim of the negative actions of others, even in the absence of clear evidence. It's a belief that they're always on the losing end, the one being acted upon rather than the one taking action. But where does this mentality stem from? Often it's rooted in past traumas or negative experiences. A difficult childhood, a series of unfortunate events, or constant exposure to negativity can all contribute to the development of this mentality. It's like a seed planted in the fertile soil of adversity that grows into a tree, casting a shadow over one's life. Another contributing factor is learned helplessness, a psychological condition where someone feels powerless to change their circumstances, even when change is possible. They've faced adversity so often, tried and failed so many times, that they've learned to feel helpless. They've convinced themselves that they're destined to be victims, and so they become what they believe. However, it's important to remember that having a victim mentality doesn't make one a bad person. It's a coping mechanism, albeit a harmful one. It's a means of gaining sympathy, of avoiding responsibility, of making sense of the world when it seems chaotic and cruel. But it's a trap, one that keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity and passivity. Are you curious to see if you might be falling into this pattern? Let's explore the 5 signs of a victim mentality. Firstly, individuals with a victim mentality often blame others for their problems. It's as if they're caught in a relentless game of pass the parcel, except the parcel is responsibility for their own actions, and they're forever passing it on to someone else. Picture this: a person who blames their boss for not getting a promotion, or a friend who blames their partner for their unhappiness. Yes, external circumstances and other people can influence our lives, but we hold the reins to our reactions and decisions. Let's be clear, blaming others is not necessarily a bad thing if done justly. However, when it becomes a pattern, a default setting, it may be a sign of victim mentality. It's like always choosing the same dish at a restaurant. You miss out on exploring other flavors. So remember, if you're always pointing the finger at others, you might be showing the first sign of a victim mentality. Secondly, chronic negativity is a common sign. Imagine this: a beautiful sunny day greets you, yet all you can think about is how unbearably hot it will be. Or perhaps you're presented with an exciting opportunity, but instead of embracing it, you're already expecting the worst possible outcome. These are classic examples of chronic negativity, a tendency to focus predominantly on the less desirable aspects of life, while often overlooking or dismissing the positive. It's like wearing a pair of glasses that only allow you to see the world in shades of gray, robbing you of the vibrant colors of joy, hope, and possibility. This relentless negativity can be draining, not just for you, but for those around you as well. It's a mindset that keeps you trapped in a cycle of pessimism and disappointment. If you're always seeing the glass as half empty, this could be a sign that you're stuck in a victim mentality. The third sign is feeling powerless. This is a common feeling among those with a victim mentality. They often perceive themselves as having little to no control over their lives. It's as if they're just a leaf being swept along by the rushing river of circumstances, unable to steer their own course. Take, for instance, someone who feels trapped in a job they despise. They may believe they're stuck, with no other options available. They might feel as if they're in a never-ending loop of dissatisfaction. But the truth is, there are always options. It's just that the victim mentality blinds them to these possibilities. This feeling of powerlessness can extend to all areas of life, from personal relationships to financial decisions. It's like being a small boat tossed about in a storm, seemingly at the mercy of the wind and waves. If you constantly feel like a small boat in the storm, you might be dealing with a victim mentality. The fourth sign is a lack of responsibility. This often manifests as an inability to accept one's role in the current situation, a trend that can be quite destructive. You see, victims may frequently shirk responsibility, instead opting to make excuses or procrastinate. They may even deny their part in the creation of their current circumstances. Imagine this: instead of accepting that a bad decision led to a failure, they may blame luck, fate, or other people. Instead of acknowledging their mistakes, they paint themselves as the helpless prey of an unforgiving universe. Their world becomes a stage where they are forever the hapless victims, never the authors of their own destiny. But remember, every choice we make, every step we take, it all adds up to where we stand today. Denying our role in this process is like denying our own existence. If you're always dodging responsibility, this could be a sign of a victim mentality. The fifth and final sign is isolation. It's not uncommon for those with a victim mentality to feel a profound sense of loneliness. They often feel misunderstood, as if no one can truly grasp the magnitude of their struggle or offer any real help. This feeling can lead to self-imposed isolation. They may build walls around themselves, pushing others away, even those who genuinely want to help. They might decline offers of support, insisting on handling their issues alone. This can extend to avoiding social situations entirely, creating a cycle of loneliness that only reinforces their feelings of victimhood. These individuals may feel as though their struggles are unique to them, that no one else could possibly understand. They might isolate, not out of desire to be alone, but out of a belief that they are alone. If you often feel alone in your struggles, you might be showing the final sign of a victim mentality. Scene script. Recognizing these signs is the first step to overcoming a victim mentality. Many of us struggle with these feelings from time to time, and it's okay. The key is to acknowledge them, not to let them define us. If you find yourself stuck in this pattern, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors are trained to guide you through this journey, offering tools and techniques to help you regain control. Now let's talk about some strategies you can apply to overcome a victim mentality. First and foremost, practice gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's wrong, but there's also so much that's right. Start each day by listing 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big, sometimes the smallest joys hold the most significance. This simple action can shift your perspective from negativity to positivity. Next, surround yourself with positive influences. Our environment greatly influences our mindset. If you're constantly around negativity, it's easy to fall into that trap. Seek out people who uplift you, inspire you, and challenge you to be better. Their positive energy can help you break free from the chains of victimhood. Another important step is taking responsibility for your actions. It's easy to point fingers and blame others for our predicament, but it's empowering to take control. By acknowledging that you have a role in your own life, you start to see that you can also change it. Lastly, remember to be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, and there may be stumbling blocks along the way, but each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Remember, you have the power to change your mindset and take control of your life. You are not a victim. You are a survivor, a fighter, a hero in your own story. And that story is far from over. It's time to turn the page and start a new chapter. One where you're no longer a passive observer, but an active participant. It's your life. Own it. Now that you're aware of these signs, do you see any of them in your own behavior? It's time to take a moment, reflect, and start a conversation with yourself. Are there areas in your life where you've unwittingly slipped into a victim mentality? It's okay if you have. The first step to overcoming any challenge is recognizing its presence. You know, the beauty of this platform is that it allows us to have these conversations together. If you're comfortable, we'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, and even your tips for overcoming a victim mentality. Your words could be the beacon of hope someone else needs. And hey, if this video has offered you some insight or maybe even a fresh perspective, why not give it a thumbs up? It helps us bring more such content to you. And while you're at it, consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Remember, you are not alone and there is always help available.